this if there wasn't a point. And the point is to stop the destruction of America, to save my country. Now we have to understand that America is nothing more than an ideology, a piece of paper, a construct developed by the thought of a more perfect union. So when people come out and say things like,
we look at Antifa as more of an ideology or a movement than an organization.
That's actually the most destructive force against what America stands for and the belief system behind where America came from. Now, we're not going to be able to do this without actually conceding to the fact that this is an actual plan of destruction and it's being implemented right now upon us. The only way we can do that is by remembering the names of people who are changing positions and getting into places where they can promote this ideology and continue the destruction of America. This is Katherine Maher, the former CEO of Wikipedia, talking about how she changed Wikipedia to have the writers not look for the truth and to find a ideology of what they're looking for.
One of the most significant differences, critical for moving from polarization to productivity, is that the Wikipedians who write these articles aren't actually focused on finding the truth. They're working for something that's a little bit more attainable, which is the best of what we can know right now.
She talks about how she doesn't like the idea of free and open internet and how, she used Wikipedia to go against that and how she believes that's a better ideology again.
Well, I have come to the opinion and the perspective that free and open was a way of looking at the world that was inherently limited relative to what we were trying to achieve.
The last video is one very specific to what I'm talking about, how she describes how the First Amendment is the main thing that's in the way of their agenda.
The number one challenge here that we see and is, of course, the First Amendment in the United States is a fairly robust protection of rights, and that is a protection of rights both for platforms, which I actually think is very important, that platforms have those rights to be able to regulate what kind of content they want on their sites. But it also means that it is a little bit tricky to really address some of the real challenges of where does bad information come from and sort of the influence peddlers who have made a real market economy around it.
This woman was the former CEO of Wikipedia, which is a, big information site. And now this woman is the head of NPR. If you look back into the pandemic, you see how much money NPR got and, how the news was all false during everything. And yeah, that was her.
Let me clear the air. I know a lot of people really felt the wrath of this. I'm not talking to you and I'm not knocking you, dude. I know some folks were in bad shape after this. Like, you got kids and a wife and you had a good job and the dividends were nice and you lost it all of a sudden over this fucking bullshit and you needed something just to keep you winning in this fight. I understand. We're all fucked in the end, though. So we might as well come together. No matter who you are and no matter who you voted for, I really do believe we need something better. Is it me? Or is it crazy as fuck that at a time like this with a horrible disease, they would make us wait for those tiny little checks just so they could give money to other foreign countries? Send the money to Pakistan. Why? For gender studies, we have to, man. I know you're worried and this shit is really scary, but send $1 billion to the Egyptian military and fuck it. Send another to the Smithsonian. Yeah, I know this shit ain't even open, but fuck it again. Shut up and spend. What about the fallen trees? 2 million, we need to study them. Ever wonder how many amberjack fish are currently swimming in the Gulf of Mexico? No. Well, I want to know that shit right now. 2.5 million, motherfucker, now let it go. You run a business? Shut it the fuck down. And if you don't, we're gonna fine you till you do. It's way too dangerous, and if you don't understand, then maybe you going broke. We'll finally get it through. And last but not least, for our hard-working, tax-paying Americans who stuck it out through this pandemic and put their lives on the line so we could keep our economy rolling, those little people we like to call essential, I give to you 600 big ones. Don't go spending it all in one place now.